It's Ben Schwab, home brewer extraordinaire. Good to meet you on camera, Brewmeister Schwab. Tell us a little bit about this here. What am I looking at over here?
Well, as you can see, in case of emergency break glass, there's an actual beer in there. That was batch 203, which I did about 11 years ago. That was a Belgian triple.
Wow.
So in case of nuclear holocaust or flood or anything,
got one handy.
You got a beer handy there.
Very good.
And this is just a label I made from my first Belgium trip with my buddy Marty. We were in front of the DuPont Brewery, makers of Saison DuPont.
Wow.
And we're praying to the beer gods there.
Ah, very nice. Man.
And over here we have Three Stooges. I actually made Three Stooges beer for a while. It was terrible beer. It was just a gimmick, you know, to get the label.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Duff beer from the Simpsons, right?
Yeah.
And you run you have a lot to say in a brew radio show or blog now? Or?
Well, there was Beer Radio for a while. I was on that show from about 04 to 06. I was a guest in the studio many times.
All right.
I was part of the U.S. beer drinking team, which
was
actually started by somebody here in Severna Park, my friend Dennis Bittner.
Wow.
And so they had me on it was on Sirius satellite radio.
Sirius radio, sure. And now, there was something else going on. You were in Maryland, one of the Maryland contests for beer? Or?
Oh, I've been to several contests. Yeah, there's one at the Timonium Fairgrounds. There's an Oktoberfest in Timonium every year. And they have a homebrew contest in conjunction with that. I've placed in it several times. One year, 2005, I took first and second place that year. That was the highlight right there.
Fantastic.
And I've won a couple of national level contests. When we go downstairs, we'll see the ribbons from all the other contests that I've won or placed in.
All right. When did you first get into doing the
It
brewing?
was October 1994 was when I did my first batch.
How'd it come off?
It came out really well. I did a stout, and everybody liked it. And I said, okay, I'm going to do this again.
Do it again. And your beer is well accepted at some of the local parties too, I bet.
Oh, at all of them.
Awesome.
That's probably the only reason they invite me. I don't want to invite Ben. Yeah, but it brings good beer. Okay, fine.
Let's have a look downstairs, Ben.
All right.
And a few samples. How about that?
Yeah.
On draft. Ben's going to be back in a second. Triple, Rouge, Ooze, Pale Ale, Saison, Hefeweizen, Belgian Strong, Scotch Ale, Oud Bruin, Flanders Red, Black Lambic, IPA, and the Bourbon Barrel Stout. I've had the Bourbon Barrel Stout. It's fantastic. Stout, the Belgian Strong, Pale Ale, Hefeweizen, India Pale Ale, Triple, Imperial Wit, Imperial IPA, Scotch Ale, Barley Wine, Kitchen Sink, Wit Beer. These are the ones in bottle, second column.
You got a bar. It's a wet bar. There's a sink behind it. And then over here are the beers on. And I did it this way, so this way, you know, I don't have to stand behind the bar and serve people, and people don't have to walk all the way around the bar to get a beer. They can just walk right out and get a beer at their leisure.
You get a beer here, and there's the drip drain.
Yeah. So there's 12 different home brews on tap at all times.
Desperation Brewing.
Yeah, there's a brewery out west, I think called Russian River, that they name all their beers something ending in Asian, like damnation and supplication and whatnot. So I decided to kind of follow suit on that.
Indemnification. Man, that's the deviation.
I kept it clean, by the way. There are some dirty words I could have used.
Yeah, I know.
Chose not to, because sometimes you'll have kids down here. I don't want them seeing that.
Yeah, it would be a little embarrassing, I imagine. Yeah. All right. Hallucination. That is a promising name for the Hefeweizen.
Yeah, there's a little peyote in there.
Yeah. Contamination and medication. Okay, look at this. So you go down the taps, and there is Ben's current collection on draft. But that's not all, is it?
Oh, no, we got bottles, too.
There's more.
This is what I age my sour ales in. This is the way they do it in Belgium. And there's two basic kinds of sour ales. There's Flanders Red, which is why I have Ned Flanders there in red.
Got it. The bad Ned, right?
Yeah. And then there's Goose, which is the other kind. I have another barrel for that.
Where's that one at?
Second barrel, right over there.
Aha. That one looks classic. That looks like it could go back 100, 200 years.
I don't know how old it is. I got it from a distillery. I think it was Heaven Hill. I got it through one of my clubs. One of my clubs got it, just like this one. Another club got that one. We brewed beer and aged it in it. But eventually they start picking up bacteria and the beer starts going sour.
Right.
And they didn't want to use them anymore. Well, I make sour ales. So I said it's perfect for me. So I'm making sour ales, aging them in these.
And that's the Belgian style?
Yeah, the sour ales originated in Belgium.
Wow. Hey, show me some of this is the equipment. I mean, this is
some of the fermenters. Just like you'll see in a big brewery, the big cylinder conical jars.
That's right, yeah.
They're straight here, then down below, they're conical. And you get the valve so you can open up, you can drain everything right off the bottom. Here we go, here's my bottle stash. We got all these, we got several over there. We got about, oh, someone's here. We got about, 60, 70 cases. And I'll show you how
60, 70 cases.
Yeah. And then I'll show you how the keg system works. We use the
Here we go.
The Coke and Pepsi kegs.
You know, this kind of reminds me of the movie Alien, when you break into the egg chamber, and all of a sudden you see this is where it's all going on.
Yeah. So it's all fed by one CO2 bottle.
Okay.
And I got the air distributor in each of them. You know, you can turn each one on and off individually. And each thing is marked with a different color of duct tape because it gets so confusing in there. So luckily I've got a dozen colors of duct tape.
Yeah.
And then that's the gas in lines, and then the beer out lines go out through the side, and then just right out and through the wall to the other side where you were before.
That's right. We were looking at the taps over there.
Yeah.
And now you're developing some yeasts here?
Yeah, these are some yeast. I collect, yeast, and I'll save them, and I'll use them in future years, grow them up again, reuse them.
The most successful ones, right?
Yes, only the really good yeasts.
Gotcha. Well, this is Ben's Brewing Emporium. And as you can see, he's got it all numbered and worked out. It's just like an engineer.
Each number
engineer would love this.
Each number is a batch number, so each batch I know which beer is in the bottles. Otherwise, you don't know what's in. It could be a pale ale, it could be a triple. So, you pull a bottle out, and you want to know what's in it. Well, there you go. The batch 498, for instance. Okay. Well, I have my log books upstairs.
That's what my next question
was. And each batch is written up, has its own page, and it tells you what kind of beer it was, what the ingredients were, the date that I brewed it, the date that I bottled it. It's all in there. That way you know what's what.
Perfect. Now let me ask you something about your log. And you've been keeping records on all the beer?
Yep, going back to 94.
94. And
over 500 batches I've done.
And how many bottles would you say that comes out to? I mean...
that's a good question. I would say...
If all your draft was bottled.
500. I would say over 20,000 bottles.
There you go. That's a good number.
Yeah. And that doesn't include the kegs. That's just the number of bottles I bottled.
So if you were to extrapolate the number of bottles out of the kegs as well,
over 30,000 bottles.
Over 30,000 bottles of beer. Pretty damn impressive, I have to say. Any other tidbits of information? Because we're going to try to get this out to a couple beer lovers. And
go to my website, benbrew.com.
Yep.
That's one word, benbrew, BENBREW.com.
Now, right over here, we had a couple of guests drop by. Here we go. This is Tom over here.
Yep.
Pleasure, Tom. And
George.
George is over here. Stopped in to pull a couple of drafts here and have some popcorn. How long have you guys known Ben?
I've known Ben about a year and a half.
All right.
About 12 years for me.
Wow. And you guys live in the community here?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more hooligans coming over later.
All right. Well, this is fun, and I'm looking forward to trying these new beers. And Ben, why don't you describe them? You guys have your personal favorites, right?
Oh yeah.
Tom, what's yours?
I usually drink the pale ale or the triples.
Or the triple. And George, what's yours?
Hallucination and pale ale.
All right.
Hallucination is the Hefeweizen. It's a German Hefeweizen. I just call it hallucination. Anyway.
All right, let's see what we got here.
So we'll start out. Why don't we start out with that? That is the German Hefeweizen right there. My version of one.
Okay.
Not quite as cloudy as I'd like it to be, but semi-cloudy.
All right, should I try this?
Yeah, Dad, drink up.
Okay.
Those are yours.
All right. That's not bad. That's not what I was expecting at all. It's like a real clean finish.
Mhm.
Real.
Next, we'll go up, we'll do the pale ale.
Okay.
This is your standard American pale ale.
IPAs are my thing, sort of. So.
Well, that's the pale. We'll do the IPA next.
Oh, okay.
There's a difference between pale ale and IPA.
I'm going to let you explain that.
Yeah.
You gonna go Friday?
Bang on, man. This is.
Friday, that's Friday. Next Friday.
Now that's much more hoppy.
Yeah,
flavor.
pale ales are hoppy, crisp, kind of light on the malt.
But the color isn't at all what I was expecting. I expected a much darker beer for that flavor.
Well, some pale ales are darker, some aren't.
Okay.
There's a very wide range of color among pale ales. The IPA.
IPA.
That's it'll be a hoppier version of the pale ale. It should be a bit more bitter.
All right.
We'll start with the least sour one. Right there, we have the hot brewing.
Say again, man.
Flemish Old Brown.
It's gotta be like that.
Well, that's going to be kind of sour, but not overly sour.
This would go good with your Boston Bruins fans, I bet. Wow.
Look at that one right there.
Goose. What's the story behind the
That'll be
goose?
a nice lemony lactic sour.
I don't know if I could drink a whole hell of a lot of it. Like number 3?
It's almost going to be like a malt vinegar.
Malt vinegar.
You go. Start with the Belgian strong ale, right here.
Belgian strong ale. I'm diving in. Oh, this is good. Belgian strong ale.
More than 10% alcohol.
What's the signature characteristics about this?
It's kind of malty, but kind of light body for how strong it is. It has some fruity esters in it, phenol.
But I tasted it.
Yeah. The Belgian strong ale is light.
Okay. Number 2, or flight number 2.
The next one will be the Belgian triple, which will be similar to the Belgian strong. It should be a little hoppier, a little crisper.
Want that one out with me again?
A little hoppier, a little less sweet, a little more bitter, a little more crisp.
Which one are we looking at here?
Right there. And that's also a little over 10% alcohol.
I remember that glass. That's from the Boston Beer Fest.
That's right.
Is it not?
Extreme Beer Fest.
Extreme Beer Fest. Okay, here we go. This is the trick.
Really? Okay, because I'm gonna come over to work, so I mean, we can certainly put some kids in that. Yeah. And.
Wow.
I don't think
It's got all the
It's
it's got all the guns in the background of it, doesn't it? Want to be on camera there for a second? There? Greg and Linda.
Don't feed his ego, please.
There we go. What's your favorite beer there?
The triple.
The triple.
Yeah, tell them about the first experience.
See how many?
I had my first experience with Ben beers. Pounded them.
Pound and triples.
6 of them.
Oof. That's the 10.3?
But I did not puke. I'm so proud of myself.
He ran around all
The
night
feeling
in
was
the snow.
And I ran laps in Linda's backyard in the snow.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Now, was he running those laps to try to sober up,
Yes.
or was it just?
He was running him to try to sober up.
Trying to sober up.
With the
That's pretty
Russian
good.
paddle.
We'll do the kilt lifter, which is the Scotch ale.
One of my
And you know what a Scotch ale is, I'm going to tell you.
Scotch ale is my thing. Thanks for thinking of me. It's interesting because this is a Scotch ale. It's a great Scotch ale. And the main thing I'm noticing is a little sweeter than some of the Scotch ales I've had.
Yeah,
Why?
Because
Why
I
is
put a
that?
lot of malt in there. I don't skimp on malt.
Uh-huh.
That's a Scotch ale is supposed to be a thick, sweet beer. That's just the way it's made.
Does this go over well? Does this beer go over well, or is it like?
On my friend,
Yeah. Interesting. Because this would be, my thinking is this might be too heavy for a lot of people.
for a lot of people it is. I was doing the bourbon barrel stout.
Bourbon barrel. Aged too, I've had.
Stout aged in a bourbon barrel. It's roasty. It's woody. It's got a little bit of tartness to it too from the barrel.
Let's try it. Coming at you with the, say it again,
Bourbon barrel stout.
bourbon barrel stout. This is the Ben original. All right, so Jenny and Justin are here as well. And they're gonna sample a couple of beers here. What are you guys going for?
Right now, I've got this Black Lambic. I'm trying this one.
Okay. What's it called again? The
This is Magnification, the Black Lambic. It's a sour beer.
Nice.
Pretty sour.
And what are you going for?
Actually trying the Black Lambic as well.
Okay. What's your general, what do you think? What do you think?
It's different.
I don't want it.
Does it taste like beer to you, or something quite
I would
different?
want you to be the captain.
It still
Yeah.
tastes like
You would be the
beer.
guy, you'd be the one.
And you want to try something else, or
I gotta drink this one
you gonna
first.
drink that one? Good policy.
You ready to go?
But all of us that would be on the boat, at least those was interesting going.
I just want to do a little toast here for our host, Ben. Here's to a very generous guy, and here's to the first of hopefully very many happy hours.
Let me get a picture. That's awesome. Very quick.
I'm here with Barley the dog, home of Mr. Ben Schwab. Barley doesn't like to get on camera at all.
Oh, he hates cameras.
He hates cameras. Hi, Barley.
Probably because he's seen the flash, and it scares him.
Barley, we're going to see some pretty good beer today, I think.